line. All we see is dollar signs, dollar signs. They say you can't make money with action, we hear that all the time. But Cap gon' show you how to increase your bottom line. Yeah, yeah, yeah. How we gon' teach you Photoshop, how to make composites. Cap gon' teach you how to parlay and make collages. Kane gon' teach you how to hustle, how to make a profit. Hold on, Cap, yeah, I gotta stay on topic. All we know is how to rise, rise, rise. We gon' show you how to rise, rise, rise. All we know is how to rise, rise, rise. We gon' show you how to rise, rise, rise. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Kendrick Brown with Cap Photos and Rise Workshops here to share a great interview with you with one of our members, Kimberly Melloan. We appreciate her taking the time out of her busy schedule to spend some time with us. I'm going to go ahead and run her slideshow here real quick. I think this is interesting. It kind of shows her workflow and a nice overhead view of her out on the job. So let's take a look at this together.
Here we are on Saturday, April 27th, picture day. MindDrive offers a lot more variety and options that we've been able to offer in the past. Appreciate the packages more and looking at the value versus in the past in the individual pictures and what MindDrive offers. To another successful year with MindDrive.
And there we go. That was nice. I like the music, very upbeat, and that was a cool promo. I got to get something like that, but I don't have a drone. Did you hire somebody for your drone footage, or you took care of that yourself? You have to answer that for me, Kimberly, when we bring you in here. Let's see who we got in here. We got Rashad in here. We got Melissa. We got Ken Midos, and I'm not sure who the Facebook user is. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you across the screen here real quick. This one that said hello. If you're new to the broadcast, look above the broadcast and you're gonna see a link for StreamYard. Click on that link and give StreamYard permission so that we can see your name. We wanna see who we got in here, but we appreciate you joining in. I see Brandon jumping in, and let's get right to it. Let's not waste any more time. We got, I see Shutterbug jumped in there. Everybody's coming in. Kimberly, you're popular. Everybody wanna hear what you have to say, so I'm not gonna delay. Here we go. We're gonna bring in Kimberly Melloan. She's working out of Goshen, Kentucky, and she is a high volume shooter, and her business has just taken off recently. It was already doing well, and then it just took off astronomically. I will let her speak about that as we bring her in, and let's go ahead and do that right now. Once I find my clicker, my mouse is tripping. So here we go. Kimberly, welcome to the broadcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. And I mentioned to you before, we have a lot of people in this group that are just like you. When I say that, I mean, moms that were out there taking pictures of their kids, and then they saw there might be a business opportunity, and they converted it from the mom on the sidelines to the mom that's getting paid and bringing money to the household. So
right.
If you would share a little bit about yourself, again, your business, and just whatever you want to share, we'll start with that.
All right. Well, like Cap said, I'm out in Goshen, Kentucky, just outside of Louisville. I really got started in 2008 when my son was about 8 years old. I'd been taking pictures of him playing ball up until then. My oldest son, he is 20 now. So this has been quite a few years ago. Started out just shooting him at the ballpark. And then a friend of mine was kind of the same mom tog as me at that time. And we got together and started doing collages. And we would do, kind of like Cap does, the action shot collages. And I sold them. I sold everything through Facebook. That was my main communication to get to the parents. And it just spread like wildfire. I'd print those out in 20 by 30s, take them up to the ballpark, rolled up, and get up there and unroll them and hold them up, and other parents would see it. And they, of course, wanted one too. So then that would line up more jobs and more jobs. I spent my whole spring and summer at the ballpark making these collages for all the kids. And then from there, went to my first, well, actually, it was quite a few years later that I didn't even know there were photography conferences until I was invited to one by David Grupa. Some of you probably know who that is. And he invited me to Sync Sports. And he told me it was a week later, that when he invited me, it was like the following week. And I told my husband, I'm going to go do this. And he was all for it. So I flew up to Pittsburgh, or Spooky Nook is where it was. And once I came home from that conference, I booked 3 little leagues, and that's really where it all started. And that was about 2017. And from there, it's just really exploded.
I won't leave you hanging. I'm always watching you in the background. Exploded is true. I'm looking at some of the comments in here, and you are a frequent poster on Photo Day. You're a Photo Day user, and your Payday 100s are just splattering the screen, and folks know when it comes in that's one of your works, getting those Payday 100s. So how has your business grown from, let's say, a year and a half ago, or maybe the first conference, to now? Talk about how many leagues or how many kids you were photographing at that time and what you're doing now.
Well, like I said, in 2017, I came home from that conference, booked 3 leagues right off the bat. Did those for 2017. 2018 is when I started those leagues, because they were for the spring. And then did them again in 2019. And then we had 7 leagues on the books for 2020, but then COVID happened. So we only got to do 2 of those. And then this year I had a lot of things kind of fall my way. So I took advantage of that, and we ended up having 13 leagues this spring.
Wow. That is huge. That is huge. Now, logistically, what did you have to change from what you were doing when you had less leagues to what you have right now? Employees, tents, cameras, gear, etc.
Yeah, we had to hire a lot more people and train a lot more people, which was very
challenging.
What's the word? Nerve-wracking and challenging. Yeah.
Right.
And I was lucky enough to find some good people, and it's easy to sit there and push a button. Once you have it all set up and ready to go, anybody can sit there and push a button. So I found some good button pushers.
Right.
And we went with it. We bought extra tents and extra setups, and there was a couple of days where we had 3 leagues going at once.
Wow.
That was super scary, sending somebody brand new out to a league by themselves to handle that.
Understood.
But I had one girl with me from February on, and she went and did her first league by herself with 3 other people I sent with her. One is one of my Sync friends that came down from Columbus, Ohio. She came down and helped me. So I sent her because she had come down and helped me a year ago in 2019, actually. And she kind of knew my process too. And so Liz was the head photographer, and then Lisa had come down and helped her to make sure, because she had worked with me before, to make sure everything ran smoothly.
Right.
And it was great. Yeah, she did a fantastic job.
That is awesome. And I know we have people of different levels here in our group and watching right now, that some are smaller, some are bigger in scale, and some are in the middle in scale. Is this where you want to be, or is there another level that you want to aspire to reach?
I mean, I'm ready to keep going. I mean, We had a photography company in the area that was around for 45 years. They went out of business last year, and I was able to swoop in and save the day of this Catholic school that we have in our area, this all boys
Wow.
Catholic school. And this other company left them in a complete mess. And they didn't have, they took their money and did not print their photos out for them and deliver them. So that company gave me their images that they took of all the seniors. And I told the school, I will print these images out for your parents. And I won't charge them anything because they'd already paid several $100 to this other company and not received anything. So I told them I would do it and I would eat the cost if they would let me have the contract for the coming year, which was now 2021 and 2022.
Wow.
And it worked like a charm. I have the whole school now.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That's one of those give so that you can get. And
right.
I imagine if you didn't get it, you probably would have done it anyway because it was just the right thing to do. It wasn't gonna kill you to do it. The fact that they acknowledged, your gift to them and making everything right, and then they come through and actually hire you, that's a blessing. That is a blessing.
Yeah.
For sure. There's what is your husband's role in the business?
He's my behind the scenes guy. He's sitting over here watching me right now.
Right.
Making me a little nervous.
I saw you side eyeing him. That's why I asked.
Yeah. So he does all my scheduling. Whenever I have photo day coming up, he's on the computer. I think it's a challenge for him to figure out how are we going to get all these teams done and how can we do it as quickly as possible so nobody's standing around getting mad or anything else. And we've had 4 stations going on one day at our biggest league that we had, plus another location that same day. A small league, like 150 kids or so. But the one that we had the 4 stations at was about 1,000 kids. And they did it on a non-game day, which was absolutely amazing. If you can get your leagues to schedule stuff on non-game days, I highly suggest doing that. It was a lot more laid back and easy going, but still we had them in and out of there. We have teams scheduled every 5 minutes. So, at 1 o'clock, they start at station 1, 1:05, they're at station 2, 1:10, they would be starting at 3, and 1:15, they'd be starting on station 4. And then at 1:20, we start back over on station 1 again. And we did that all day long until we finished. And it was fabulous. It worked out great.
So with your station setup, is station 1 like this one is for the team picture? Station 2 is for the individual. How do you work the stations?
No, since we use NextGen,
right?
So we do 2 pictures of every kid. The first picture that we take is the team image. The second picture is their posed picture, or they can pick a pose basically. And we do that for every kid on every station. So the team and individuals taken all on the same station for that whole team.
Got you. So if there's 4 stations, you have 4 teams lined up for each one of those stations, and one station is handling one team. Did I get it right?
Yeah. One station handles a whole team. Yep. Got
it. Okay. I got it. And then when those 4 are done, bam, they're out. Another 4 come in. You just keep it rolling until you finish the whole group.
Yep.
Got it. That's that wash, rinse, and repeat. When you get a system that works, if you can do it with 1 team, you can do it with 80 teams because you have a system that works, and that's important. That's something that's important that I'd like folks to take away from this. And I know there's folks that are watching that they're not interested in doing anything that big, but those that are or aspire to it, you got to connect right here. And Kimberly, I've seen you helping people, even our friend in common that we both reached out to with the comments earlier this month. I reached out to him and then you reached out to him. We reached out to each other and found out we both reached out because we're helpers, we're teachers. And I think there's enough business in this industry for everybody to get some. And we don't have to worry about if I teach this person what I know, then they're going to come and take my stuff. Well, if they take your stuff, it was ready to be taken. If you do a good job, your leagues won't leave you. Even if the new person is better than you, they won't leave you because it's you. It's business with you. It's not always just the product that's being put out.
Right. So, it's a relationship.
Absolutely. You mentioned your 3 leagues in one day, and you are a Nikon shooter, correct?
I was, but I've switched to mirrorless.
Mirrorless. Which one?
I'm using the
So,
G9s for volume, but for my tucks and drapes, I'm using the S1R, the Lumix.
got you. And the G9, is that a does that have removable lenses as well? That's the
Yes.
Panasonic Lumix. I actually have the baby, the FZ1000 that I actually used several times for leagues, and it's worked out. I've moved on, but it definitely will get it done. And it was only like a $600 camera, which
Yeah.
is lovely. So there's let me look at a couple of these comments and see if we have anybody with any questions. Here's Kane jumping in. Relationships are important so much. Here's Shutterbug Calvin. He's actually coming to the conference. He's got some, are those fists? Oh, hand claps. He got some hand claps up there. Let's see. Here's Kane again. Kimberly Melloan, can't you eat the cost of a few leagues for me? That's funny. Here's my wife who wants to work. Kimberly, would love to see your workflow one day. If I can fight the fear of flying. My wife hates to fly. I'm trying to get her to come to the conference. Right now, it's a no-go because she does not like to fly. Here is Calvin coming in again. That's impressive. I don't know if it's about something that you said or if it's about the video because I'm catching up. Here's Liz.
Liz, that's my assistant.
There you go. There you go. So we won't discount her comment. We'll take that as valid too. She's the best. Hey, Kimberly from Brian. And let's see what we got in here. Relationships. We got those. Oh, here's John. John Rivera. John, you've been on enough to know how to get your name on this screen. Look above the broadcast and you're going to see a StreamYard link. Click on that, give it permission so we can see your name. But I appreciate you identifying yourself so I didn't have to go and find out who you were. So that's cool on that. And with your staff that you had to hire, when you blew up and you went from a certain number of leagues to a much larger number of leagues this year, how did you go about finding your new staff?
Well, my son, my oldest son, my 20-year-old, he actually brought Liz on board with me. Liz that commented over there.
Okay.
She was a friend of his who enjoyed photography. And he said, Mom, he called me up, Mom, I think I have a worker for you. And I said, really? He's like, yeah. So I called her up and had her come out to a basketball shoot at a local high school. And when she got there, she jumped right in and, she was learning stuff. And I didn't really get to talk to her much because it was it was pretty hectic that day. Yeah. And I was just going to kind of have her just kind of watch and see what we did, see if, it was something she was going to think she might want to do. And she just jumped right in there and started, writing down stuff. And I mean, she was just she impressed me a lot that first time because she jumped right in, ready to go. Wow. She reminded me a little bit of myself where she was just ready to get in there and learn and going, let me help. And she has been a godsend. So she was my first one that came along. She's the one that went off and did the league by herself that first time. Wow. And did great. And we did, let's see, who else? I just, one girl put a message on Facebook. Mm-hmm. It was a high school kid she's a senior. She was looking for babysitting jobs.
Right.
And
I got one for you.
I messaged her and said, I don't have babysitting jobs, but how would you feel about coming and help me out with my photography business and posing kids? And she was like, yeah, sounds great. So she came over and she worked out really well. She was good with explaining how to photo day and all that stuff.
Okay.
So that worked out well. And I had, a few posers and stuff in my back pocket that I'd used previously.
Lovely.
And yeah.
Now, are you the folks that you have out working for you? Are they actually employees on payroll, or are they treating them as independent contractors?
Independent contractors right now, but I probably need to look into employees. So I got to figure all that out, and I'm not good at that stuff at all.
I will help you. I asked the question because I will help you. After we get off, I'll share with you how to do that, and the importance of it too is very important.
Yeah.
So let's look at a couple of comments here. And I did the same thing. I did the independent contract for about 4 years till I realized I could get into trouble. So then I fixed it before I got in trouble. So
yeah.
Here's Melissa. Melissa says, let me see if it replaces the other comment. Perfect. Melissa says, are you still shooting action or you just don't have time?
I'm actually going to go shoot an all-star game tomorrow night. It's an 8-year-old team for one of the leagues, one of my favorite leagues, the first one I ever booked that my son played at. I'm going to go shoot their all-star game tomorrow night for the little guys. Did their banner, and they had it delivered today, I think. So they're good to go. So I think I'm going to go out there tomorrow and shoot their game.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. I don't shoot a whole lot of action anymore because I don't have time.
Right. You are one of the busiest. I think I put that in one of my comments. You're one of the busiest women in photography that I know. This goes along with that from Calvin. Are you working year round?
Yes, pretty much. I thought I was going to get a bit of a break, but I don't think that's happening. I had about a week, maybe a week of like where I wasn't really shooting anything in June. And that really was just between my last league to the start of my Tux and Drapes. We started that last Monday, the 14th. And now I have Tux and Drapes every day until school starts. And then we'll continue on because, as you know, yes, we can take 30 appointments a day right now. But of course they don't, they want to wait till the last minute. So all 1,000 of those kids are going to be trying to come the last week.
Wow.
And that's not going to happen. So it's pretty crazy. One thing I didn't think I told you about, Cap, I'm moving my studio.
To where?
To just around the corner from where I was. But the studio I'm in now has a step up in the middle of it. Right. And it also has a wall in the center. It's only about 780 square feet. Right. But somebody around the corner is moving out and their space was like 900 and like right at 1,000 square feet and no step up. It's just a big giant square. Wow. So I bought 2 backdrops for my Tux and Drapes. And once I move in there, the 1st of July, we'll be having multiple things going on at once. So we probably have room for 6 or 8 backgrounds in there. And then I'll be having Liz be my second shooter.
Perfect.
Yep.
What a great story for anybody who's and I want to talk about that a little bit more. Your family life before, when you were just shooting and doing the collages for the action, the family life, and how has your photography business changed your dynamics in your family, improved your family, helped out with the bills, whatever. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so I was a stay-at-home mom of 3 little boys. They were 8, 7, and I guess the youngest was probably 2 or 1. I don't know. They're 20, 19, and 14 now. The oldest 2 have moved out, so we just got the little one home now. But yeah, I stayed at home and took care of them, and always had my camera at the ballpark with me. So I'd come home from that, and I'd sit on the couch and have watch something or whatever, and I'd sit there and look through all these pictures. And I was also cutting out all of my own images, and everybody's poster had 1 to 2 cutouts of of them hitting the ball or making a throw or whatever. And I was doing all that myself, and I would stay up all hours of the night doing that, and I'd go to bed like 3 o'clock in the morning. Right. And my husband would just be like, "What are you doing?" And he kept telling me, "You need to send that out to somebody. You need to have somebody do that." Well, I had no idea who did that. Like, I had no clue at all until I went to that conference, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that really is such a thing." And he likes to say, "I told you so." And I knew that you should be sending that out.
I see you keep looking at him.
Yeah.
You got to bring him into the picture for a minute. We want to see his face for a minute. Pop in, hubby. We want to see your face so we see what's going on behind the scenes.
Yep.
Look at this. What's going on, young man? Oh, you got the clean ball head too. I like that. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. I copied off of you.
There you go. Well, welcome, and I'm so happy that you guys are doing what you're doing, and your work behind the scenes is much appreciated, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. So I didn't have a lot of time to spend with the boys because I'd be like, "Quit! I've got to cut this player out. Get out of the way." Always doing stuff, 24 hours a day. And, always went to the games, and, we had dinner every night cooked on the table. And now, as the business has grown, I can't do that anymore.
Wow.
It does a lot of the grilling and cooking now, because I'm always, all my stuff's in the evening usually,
Got you.
with sports and that. So yeah, he cooks and all that stuff. So
Good.
Jake wonders where all the dinner went to.
All right, let's see. We got another comment. Here's a quick, easy one. What kind of lights are you using?
I use Godox or Flashpoint AD600s.
Right.
I started off with those. So I've never known any different. I don't have any of the lights that plug in. I never had to tape down wires, none of that. I went straight from 2017 at that conference. I remember when I met Wes the first time, and I loved his whole thing with Next Gen. That's the first time I saw that. And go shooting everybody individually and then composite it together. And he was going to do that composite for me, so I didn't have to cut out anybody anymore. And I remember asking him, hey, what kind of lights do I need to be able to do this? And he said, oh, just any light will do. Well, that was it. Like, I don't know. He thought I knew more than I did, because I knew absolutely nothing at that point. But yeah, I'm using AD600s. I've got an AD200. I've got a 200 Pro. And that's pretty much the lights that I use. We have like 10 of those things. Gotcha. And it's expensive, and it was, hard to put that money out, but it's paid for itself over again.
No doubt about it. That's investing in yourself for sure. Here's another comment from Sherry, and Sherry will be attending our conference as well. Kimberly, when you came on from the first conference, how did you approach the leagues, and what did you say?
Oh my gosh. Well, the first league that I went to was the one that my son played in. And we had moved from that county over to another county. So he no longer played there. And he was about 10, 11. I guess he was, no, how old was he? He was older at that point. But anyways, we had moved from that county. So I wasn't really in that league at all anymore. I mean, I knew a bunch of people there still, just because he did play there, and I grew up in that end of town. So I knew everybody, and knew a lot of the people, and I was still around the ballpark a lot doing the action photos for those kids. So everybody kind of knew me. So I just asked him, I was like, hey, can I come to your board meeting? I want to, I want to do your all's league. And they said, sure. So I went in there, and there was like 50 people in that room. It was awful. And I do not like to talk in front of people. It was super nerve-wracking. The only team that I had done Next Gen way was a high school football team. So I went in there with samples that were football samples. I didn't have anything for baseball at all. And I just told them, I said, look, I've got these samples. This is just to show you the quality of the products that I'm offering. I know it's football stuff, but I haven't done any baseball teams yet. And I just laid it all out on the line. I said, look, I can do this. Give me a chance, and I'll, they loved all the products that I showed them. They loved everything. And they took a vote and said that I won it hands down. Like, everybody in the room, voted for me, because like I said, I knew almost everybody in that room that day, just because I'd been around and I'd done collages for all their kids. So they knew they were going to get good stuff. And I got lucky.
That's those relationships. That's right. The relationships. And that is the, I think we got an echo. I don't know if it's on my end. Maybe it is. That's the relationships, and that is the parlay before the parlay was born. You took action and you converted it into this huge business that you have right now, and it just built upon itself. And I mentioned to folks all the time about action. Every single team and league out there has a TNI photographer. Whether they like them or not, that's not the issue, but they have one already. So you're going up against somebody when you go after that league, because it's not like, unless it's a brand new league that's just starting and they don't have anybody, that's different. But most of them already have somebody. Hardly any of them have anybody shooting action photography. That's your in. So even if you're not in the action photography for the money, which you should be, and I can show you why, you use that to get in and build these relationships, do good business, answer your phone, provide a great product, all those kind of things. And then it leads into this huge thing that Kimberly has now to help provide for her family. So That is lovely. Let me see if we have other comments here. Howie jumped in here late. He said, I'm late, but hey, Kim.
Hey, Howie.
Let's see. Here's Howie again. What in the heck happened to Cat? Oh, he's the first one that acknowledged that I shaved my face. Kane, he didn't really dare me, but it's no big deal to me. I can be a chameleon. It doesn't matter. I shaved everything off. All the gray is gone, and now I'm 10 years younger. I'm not 53. I'm 43 now. Let's see. Brian here jumped in again. You rock, Kimberly. Keep kicking ass. Here's Calvin again. Your story is inspiring. I knew it would be. That's why we picked Kimberly, and we got others coming down the pipe. Let's see. We got Howie here again. Can't wait to go back and watch the beginning on the replay. Here's Liz. Yay, Joe. And let's see who else we got in here. Facebook user. This must be our John again. I have to run. Hi, Joe Malone. Joel Malone, you rock, Kimberly Melloan, and thank you for supporting Photo Day. Oh, that's Lisa. Lisa, you know better than that. Fix your thing so that you can we can see your name. That's Lisa with Photo Day. Let's see. Oh, somebody here got a tip for the AD 600s. Melissa, buy them Black Friday, the AD 600s. Let's see. Did the same thing go? Let's see. I did the same thing, right to wireless, and that's a great way to start coming in, and you won't have all these old lights that the rest of us have sitting around that we can sell to somebody that's brand new, that's just starting out, and at least they have something that they can make money with, and they don't have to spend, $600 for one light to get started. You can spend a lot less to get started with this thing. It's just convenient. A light is a light. It's convenience as far as the Godox or the flashpoint system, and almost everybody, I'd say probably 70% of the industry is using these lights now. So wherever you go, if you got a trigger, you got lights because you can use their lights.
That's right.
And we talked about that as far as the conference as well. Those are the lights that we'll have there. So folks will be bringing theirs, and we can share and just pop your trigger, make sure you're on the right channel, and you're good to go. So, okay, I think I got all the questions in. Let me just triple check one more time, make sure I didn't leave anybody out. I didn't leave my wife out because I'll be in trouble. Absolutely. Good there, good there, good there. All right. Here's this. I think I put it up, but let me put it up again. The PD 100 Queen. And for those of you that have no idea what we're talking about with that, those of you who I don't want to say you're under a rock, but those of you who have not experienced or checked out Photo Day, this is when you make a sale and it's $100 or more. That includes tax, shipping, and everything. So it could be like a $95 sale, but you add in tax and shipping and you just made it to the PD 100 level. It's not always one kid. A lot of times it's more than one kid. So if you see a big value, 300 and something, it could be one kid, but it could also be 3 kids or 4 kids, however many kids they had all lumped into one. So that's the payday #100 that we speak of if you do not know. I think that is it. Kimberly, is there anything else that you want to share that I didn't ask you about that you think folks might want to know about? As shy as you are.
Yeah. This was really hard for me just to do this because I'm like all nervous. I don't like looking at myself right there on the screen.
You're doing fine, and we appreciate it so much. Matter of fact, I'm looking at 17 folks that it's either tied or it might be a record live. So you guys,
oh wow,
people wanted to see you, people wanted to hear from you. So
well, that's cool. Thanks for coming, everybody.
We'll take you off the hook. Kimberly, thank you so much for joining us. I'll
say one other thing. If you want to grow your business, you can absolutely grow your business. Just go to conferences, and
yes.
I mean that was a game changer for me. Was going to that very first one, and now I'm like addicted. I hate to miss any conferences.
Right.
So if you want to do it, you can absolutely do it. I remember talking to Lisa from down in Florida, not Lisa Malice. Lisa, I can't think of her last name right now, but she told me she was always at the conferences talking about how she, had 3 locations going at once. And I remember saying to her, I don't see how you can do that. I could never do that. I just said, I could never, ever do that. And then here I am doing it. So if I can do it, anybody in this room right now can do it. You guys can do it. Just believe in yourself and get to a conference and find some mentors.
There you go. That is encouragement that I totally agree with myself. Shit, Kimberly and I met at a conference. Kane and I, Howie, all of it. 3 years later, Kane, Howie, and myself started a business together 3 years after meeting at a conference. We didn't know each other from Adam before that conference. We met there, we hit it off, we continued to stay in contact, and we thought, hey, we can do this too. We can do this. We can offer something different. And that's where Rise was developed. And it's only been since April, 15th or something that we started this thing. Look how far it's come, 300 and something members, guests from everywhere. Don Ward, we've got all the big timers coming in, sponsorships, etc. It's just beginning. So Kimberly, again, thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to put you in the back room and I will come back to you in a minute. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. All right, folks, there you go. And I did pretty decent on the time too. We're at 36 minutes. Thank you again to Kimberly Melloan for joining us, as busy as she is, out of Goshen, Kentucky, and her husband for popping in for a minute. We appreciate that. So for those of you that are, wondering if you can do this, there's a perfect example of where she started and where she is now. She mentioned the importance of attending conferences, whichever conference you choose. Of course, we want you to come to ours, but if this isn't the one for you and there's something else for you, just get to a conference and make sure you make those connections and learn, educate, and grow yourself and grow your business to whatever level you want to be at. If you want to be at this level where you're doing this many kids a year, or you want to be, I just want to pay for my kids' college tuition, then I'll be good. Everybody's at a different level. Once you find out what your why is, Rise will show you the how. So now let's go out with Kimberly's slideshow again, just like we came in. Let me get it here for a minute. I'm off my game here. So here we go with Kimberly's slideshow. If you missed it on the beginning, here it is going out.
Here we are on Saturday, April 27th, Picture Day. MindDrive offers a lot more variety and options that we've been able to offer in the past. Appreciate the packages more, and looking at the value versus in the past in the individual pictures and what MindDrive offers.
On everything I'm ballin', no, I'm shooting to win. And if my angles ain't right, then we shooting again. I got the contracts and they ready, so don't get cute with the pen. Cause once there's an agreement, then the magic begins. I had to put it all in the craft, I had to study and work and get better. I made mistakes, but I'm never gonna let up, cause I be the one on the rise, like I'm lifting my head up, the last one leaving the shoot. And believe I'm the one that got everything set up, the lights, the camera, the action. That ain't gonna happen unless you invest and you get it. You get it? We did it, but we never did it for credit. We were pursuing perfection with edits and layers and filters and all the peripherals, chasing the dream of a life with residuals. We wanted nothing to do with the typical. Lo and behold, you see we at the pinnacle. Nothing could stop us, the rise. Now we on the rise. Rise, rise, 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 rise. Now we on the rise.
I'm going to get better at my closings, but We're getting there. Thanks again for joining in. If you missed the live broadcast, go ahead and check out the replay. It will be on our private Facebook group. And within a couple of days, Howie will load it up to our RISEworkshops.com. Click on the video tab and you can watch the replays. So thanks again. Kendrick Brown with Rise Workshops, along with Howie McCormick and Kane Sampson. And we're out of here. Hope to see you all at the end of July at the first ever live conference from Rise Workshops. Thank you.